So the Indiana Fever fans are furious with this signing. Absolutely furious with the fact the Fever have signed someone who appears to be a Caitlin Clark hater in Brianna Turner.
So, the Indiana Fever fans are furious, and I mean absolutely furious, about this signing. They've just added Brianna Turner, and it's already backfiring in the worst way.
Why?
Well, it turns out Turner has a history of not exactly being a fan of Caitlin Clark, the same Caitlin Clark who's about to be her teammate now. So, fans are looking at this move like, wait, are you sure you're in the right locker room?
Seems to us anyway, like, was that just a line of BS? Because I can't imagine why you would sign her. I understand she's supposed to be this great defensive player, but is it worth taking a flamethrower to your family?
Heat check, and we haven't even hit training camp yet. The Fever signed Turner, and it raises the question, was this really a smart move? Fans are scratching their heads, asking, why would you bring her in? Sure, she's known for being a defensive powerhouse, but is that worth setting fire to your fan base and locker room? Indiana was cooking up something special this offseason. They had the right players, the right pieces, and the fans were hyped. Then, boom, Brianna Turner enters and suddenly, the whole vibe's off. Turner was expected to be a force on defense, but instead of a defense...
Is this what runner-up does? It does if you're Iowa. I'm sorry, it does. It's like when, it's a Cinderella run. Like, you don't have to win. Like, you don't understand. People do not understand.
I haven't seen drama like this in a while, but credit to the Fever for publicly honoring their past accomplishments this season. Let's be clear, this feels like a Cinderella run, doesn't it? It's that surprise story everyone rallies behind, except in this case, it's a bit more complicated. For Iowa fans, I'm sorry to say, this was supposed to be a dream signing, but things got messy real quick. Turns out, Turner has had some strong opinions about Caitlin Clark and her Iowa team. And we're talking about pre-Fever, pre-WNBA thoughts. These were straight from her college days. When fans dug up those old tweets, let's just say it wasn't pretty. It's like signing the best bodyguard in town, only to find out they once publicly trashed your star player in a viral rant. That's what we've got here. Turner's tweets were a highlight reel of her going off on Clark and her Iowa squad. And now, she's walking into the same locker room where
And you took time after every single game to sign autographs for fans, whether you were home or away, out of town. Why did that mean so much to you to take that time?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is, I used to be in those young girl shoes, and whether you're a young boy, young girl, I ran around with two brothers that idolized girls and boys and wanted to be like them, and I think those are the people that allowed me to dream and want to be in moments like this, so it was something I enjoyed. I would say you all inspired me just as much as I inspired you, and you allowed me to live out my dream every single day, and for that I'm forever thankful, so thank you. It's been very special, and this place will always be home to me, and I hope to be back at a lot of games, and I encourage all of you to do the same and continue to support this team the way that you have over the course of the last 2 years, so thank you.
TSO. Here's the deal. The Indiana Fever signed Brianna Turner, who barely played last season. Not only that, but she went after the entire Iowa fan base, including stars like Caitlin Clark, Kate Martin, and Gabby Marshall, for celebrating the growth of women's basketball and turning it into a mainstream sport. You have to ask yourself, why aren't Indiana fans thrilled about this? Of course, Caitlin Clark had to approve of this move, but that doesn't mean they're happy. Turner has a long history of voicing her opinion on a lot of things, and it's come back to bite her.
Brianna Turner has said a whole lot about a whole lot. And I'm going to jump into it real fast to show the levels of hypocrisy of the WNBA. I keep telling you that the WNBA is a hypocrite league. And they're filled with bullshitters and liars, and it just continues.
For Iowa fans, I'm sorry to say, this was supposed to be a dream signing, but things got messy real quick. Turns out, Turner has had some strong opinions about Caitlin Clark and her Iowa team. And we're talking about pre-Fever, pre-WNBA thoughts. These were straight from her college days. When fans dug up those old tweets, let's just say it wasn't pretty. It's like signing the best bodyguard in town, only to find out they once publicly trashed your star player in a viral rant. That's what we've got here. Turner's tweets were a highlight reel of her going off on Clark and her Iowa squad. And now, she's walking into the same locker room where Caitlin Clark is the main attraction. It's like applying for a job at a company where you once called the CEO a joke. Awkward doesn't even begin to cover IT. So, here's the deal. The Indiana Fever signed Brianna Turner, who barely played last season. Not only that, but she went after the entire Iowa fanbase, including stars like Caitlin Clark, Kate Martin, and Gabby Marshall, for celebrating the growth of women's basketball and turning it into a mainstream sport. You have to ask yourself, why aren't Indiana fans thrilled about this? Of course, Caitlin Clark had to approve of this move, but that doesn't mean they're happy. Turner has a long history of voicing her opinion on a lot of things, and it's come back to bite her. And let's be real, this is just another example of the WNBA's hypocrisy. It's a league full of contradictions and false promises, and the more you dig into it, the more you see the contradictions. In basketball terms, Turner just lobbed herself an accidental self-oop for all the haters. It's like running a perfect fast break, only to trip over your own shoelaces. And fans? Oh, they're loving it. Some are laughing at the irony, others are furious, and then there are the ones just sitting back with popcorn, enjoying the chaos. One thing's for sure, though, Turner didn't need to step on the court to shake up the Fever season. They went from thinking they had a defensive powerhouse to wondering if they'd just sign their own biggest critic. Caitlin Clark? Oh, she's seen those tweets. Whether she chooses to address them or not, she's got a front row seat to the mess that's unfolding. So yeah, Indiana Fever fans, how do you feel about all this? If you're a fan of good basketball and strong rim protection, you'll probably
Had no problem signing with the Indiana Fever. Because the reality is, these women don't believe the things that they say. It makes it very hard to take anything that they say for what they say. Even to the point of, oh, look at this. Brianna Turner, 217.25. That was today.
in music is terrible. Or hiring a chef who once tweeted that your favorite dish is disgusting. You get the idea. The Indiana Fever wanted an elite defender. What they got instead? A PR nightmare. And the worst part? It's completely self-inflicted. No scandalous headlines, no off-court incidents, just some old tweets resurfacing and proving once again that the internet never forgets. So now what? That's the million-dollar question. Turner has to show up, play her heart out, and somehow convince fans that she's here for the Fever, not against them. But winning them over? That's going to be tough. Basketball fans don't forget easily, and Turner just learned that the hard way. She's now staring down the receipts that the Indiana Fever fans won't let go of. And just when you think it couldn't get messy, Turner posts, "Feel free to unfollow, mute, or block me if that's bothersome to you. Always protect your peace." She goes on to say, "I will not bend the knee or change my online advocacy to appease others." She had no problem signing with the Fever, but it's clear now that, for a lot of people, this is about more than just basketball. These fans don't believe the things she's saying.
And she's tweeted multiple things. She has yet to tweet, "Happy to be here in Indiana. Happy to be a part of the crew." Instead, she gets on her bully pulpit now that she is on a team with fans that actually might give a shit about her. Did that sound harsh? Oh well. She went on her bully pulpit now that she has a bigger platform because she's associated with America's team. And she wastes,